response to Brent's 199 subs contest over at the Record Room. Brent, congratulations on your subscriptions. I know at this point you're well over 199, well into the 200s. Really enjoy your channel. Wish you made more videos, but I really enjoy the ones that you have made. This was a fun contest idea that I really wanted to jump on, asking us, how do we buy music? Do we go to record stores? Do we buy it online? Where do we go to buy music? Do we have loyalty to one specific record store? And what do we expect to find at a record store besides records? I buy 90% of all the records that I get in a record store. Physically go out and buy them. I'm not a fan of online purchasing of records. The reason for that is, to me, a record store is really an oasis in the desert. It's a sanctuary. It's a place I love to get out of the house on Saturdays, Sundays, and go out and dig through a record store. The idea of the unknown makes it so much fun. A lot of times I'll go to a record store with several items on my list that I know are there, and I come out with none of the items on the list and 3 or 4 things that I didn't even know that I was going to find today. I love that aspect of it. I love the way record stores sound, the way they smell, the people that work there. I love digging through the bins, feeling something in my hands. I'm just real big on physical mediums, even with books. I can't do a Kindle or a Nook. I gotta have something physical in my hands, and something tangible. And I know the vinyl community can appreciate that because we all collect this dead format of music, according to modern technology. So I'm huge on going to record stores. The only things that I do buy online, about 10% of my collection, are things that the 3 record stores I'm going to talk about do not carry, are never going to get in for whatever reason. When I've established that, and I've waited for a while, then I'll bite the bullet and order something. One genre seems to really stick out as far as I can't find it around here, and that's krautrock. I bought both of these albums last year, these 2 Almond Duels, online, at a great price, had them shipped to me. My record stores, for some reason, the krautrock is just extremely limited, doesn't come in a lot. So I do want to fill that genre in, so I do have to buy some of that online. The 3 record stores that we have in Knoxville, I'm talking about 3 plus 1. The 3 holy trinity of record stores that I go to, all these, I'm so blessed, all these are within 15 to 20 minutes of my house. And they're all give something very unique. In a way, they almost don't compete with each other. They all complement each other. It's beautiful, really. The first one is the Disc Exchange. That is 90% of their stock is new releases, 2014 records. It's the place to go for new music. On Tuesdays they have all the new releases. They probably only have 10% of their stock as used stuff, so if you're into used stuff, that's not the place to go, but that is the place to go for record store day, for new stuff if you're into new music like I am. Go on Tuesdays, they're going to have it. They're going to have 9 out of 10 times they're going to have it. Probably a stock of 4,000 records, 3,000 or 4,000 records. 90% of them are from the last 2 or 3 years, or reissues. Definitely the place to go for reissues. So for a long time, that was my favorite record store. It's still amazing. I go there probably at least once a week. The Disc Exchange. Second in the holy trinity is Hot Horse. Hot Horse is my new favorite record store at the moment. We'll talk about allegiances in just a second. Hot Horse is the place to go for expensive obscurities, we'll say. They have a stock of around probably 2,000 records, and they're almost all obscurities. They have some new stuff, some cheap used stuff, but the meat, what that store is going for, their business model, is obscure, expensive records. Most of the obscurities are going to run you between 20 to 60 bucks. They have a big wall with really expensive records on it. It's the only place I've ever been where I saw a used record for $100 on the wall. Really expensive stuff. We're talking, original Brian Eno, original psychedelic records, hard to find out of print records. That's the place to go. So as I'm getting more and more into vinyl collecting, that's becoming my favorite place because it's just cool shit you don't see at other places. The bad thing is it's expensive. Having said that, they are very fair with what you see on eBay. I mean, the records are worth what they're asking for. But, they're not competing with the other place I mentioned, the Disc Exchange. This is obscure stuff. And then lastly, Lost and Found Records. That's your place to go for used records. 95% of their stock are used records. You're not going to find a lot of obscure stuff there, but you're going to be able to fill in your collection of stuff you want, like Black Sabbath, Neil Young, Miles Davis, stuff that we all like. You can get a good, clean copy for a lot of that stuff there, for any of that stuff for $7, $8. It's going to play. It's going to be clean. The packaging is going to be good. You do see some obscurities there. You do see some new stuff, but again, 90% of their stock is used records. And then lastly, the plus one to the Holy Trinity is McKay's Used Books. It's a used bookstore, but they have a used vinyl section there. A couple of videos ago, I showed Nevermind, the Bollocks, Sex Pistols, Combat Rock by The Clash. I found all those there for a quarter or 50 cents. I can't remember. That's the place to go for bargain bins. So there you have it. I have a record store for new releases, for obscure finds, for used finds, and for bargain deals, all within about 15 to 20 minutes of my house. I'm so lucky, and I know it. I'm just so blessed to have all this. Last, I don't have any particular allegiance to one. My favorite one changes depending on what kind of stuff I'm into. If I'm into really a lot of new music, this exchange is my favorite. If I'm into just listening to a lot of obscure, avant-garde, experimental stuff, Hot Horses, right now Hot Horses is my favorite. And then if I'm just into sort of classic stuff, in a Neil Young phase or a Sabbath phase, Lost and Found is my favorite. So I have a lot of great stuff, to be so fortunate to live close to this stuff. And lastly, you said, do we expect to find something other than records? What do we expect to find at record stores besides records? Honestly, when I was younger, I was go to record stores and get other things like, band stickers or incense or some of these knickknacks you see, coffee cups, things like that. I don't really look for any of that anymore. To me, I'm so into vinyl at this point, I almost see that as a waste. I could be spending that money on getting a cool record, and the other stuff you just usually ends up in a yard sale or something. So I guess I go to a record store just to find knowledge, to talk to the people that work there, see what they're listening to. I always love to see those top 10 lists. All these record stores put out a top 10 list around here of their employees' top 10 at the end of the year. I like to see what they're spinning, see what they recommend. I go there for knowledge, I guess. But anyway, and the last record I bought in a record store was what's playing in the background. This is Sound of the Sitar by Ravi Shankar. I got this at McKay's Used Books for 50 cents. It's a beautiful, beautiful record on the Liberty Records. So anyway, congratulations, Brent. Hope you enjoyed this. Knoxville's a wonderful place for music, so I'm very lucky to live here. Anyway, thank you. Hope you're having a great weekend.